All right, welcome everybody to the All About Nothing podcast kind of daily show. I am Barrett Gruber, host of the All About Nothing podcast with Zach King. Find me across all social media at Barrett Gruber. This is Bill Kimler, host of Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jameel Brooks. You can follow him at Political Bill SC. Good evening, Bill. How are you?
I'm good. Did the Amazon Web Service outage fry your brain? Are you rebooting?
I can honestly tell you it stressed me out a bit. It was
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean with all of this and you know, my kids play Roblox and
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
down, you know, and I couldn't explain to them the whole infrastructure of the cloud-based web services and servers and things. I could explain it to a peer, but I couldn't explain it to them.
So it was
So
like the apocalypse for the Gruber household.
it was close. It was
Wow.
close. Had Amazon orders that we were expecting today that have not gone out. I can't imagine that the AWS would have affected, delivery, but I can't play my PlayStation until I get a new controller. And that controller's sitting in a facility somewhere.
Well, I tell you, in all sincerity, thoughts and prayers are with you today. And I hope you can find a way to get through this difficult time. You know what? I'm going to take a sip here in your honor. Look what I'm sporting tonight in honor of Halloween.
All right.
See that? See that little guy?
Where did you get this skeleton type goblet?
I'm sure it was at a dollar store somewhere, half off.
That's fair.
Very cheaply made.
That's fair. Real quick reminder, SoulHAUS Sessions with Priest Jacobs is going to be taking place this Wednesday, October 22nd at the Koger Center for the Arts. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Some tickets are still available, but I hear rumor that it is very close to being sold out. So if you're going to get your tickets, do that now. You can head over to the Koger Center for the Arts webpage. You can just Google that, or you can find it in the show notes. Tickets are available through Eventbrite. And if you use code AAN, you get 50% off.
So what is your arrangement here? I mean, is this a paid advertisement or some sort of other bartered deal?
This for a friend.
So this is just friend. I mean, and I get that. I know friend, and I know he's part of the network. But the way you do this, it sounds like there's a quid pro quo. And I was just curious,
doesn't it? Hey, listen, advertisers, you could have this too. I could interrupt Bill in the middle of his thought to tell somebody something important about something you're selling.
So you could have this too, meaning free advertising, because you will shill for anybody for any reason.
Yeah. That's very true.
Oh, interesting.
Segue to advertising. I am quite disturbed by the fact that it's not even Halloween yet, but I'm already seeing PayPal ads with Will Ferrell sitting in a bathtub while music in the background plays Deck the Halls.
Oh.
Why? Does it feel a little early for this? I'm genuinely concerned that we have.
I don't watch TV, at least not with advertising, or I have advertising I can quickly fast forward through.
That's fair.
Speaking of TV, what do you watch nowadays? What is on your watch list this week?
So I am oddly into reality television a lot of the time. Although, okay, so before I tell you what I watch, I will say I did see HBO ads for it. Welcome to Dairy.
Welcome to Dairy. Yes,
so I haven't watched it. I have it set to download the episode so that I can get those. I
hope they're good. I really do. I was disappointed. I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before. They did a prequel to Pet Sematary, also released on HBO Max, and it was horrible.
Oh.
It was a snooze fest. Now,
that's disappointing.
There's some good things here. That Welcome to Dairy is being produced by the same guy who did the movies.
Yep.
The same guy who played Pennywise the Clown. He's back.
Yep.
So I, you can expect good things here.
Yeah, I agree. I did have a topic that I wanted to jump into, and I checked on this. This is legitimate. I'm just gonna jump us right into it because I think.
Okay, so you don't want to know what I'm watching. That's all right.
Oh
no. That's good. This is a one-way conversation. We'll go with Barrett. Barrett's agenda.
I just had to. For some reason, it's not starting up like I thought it was going to.
Exactly. That's what happens when you're rude. But go ahead.
That's fair. I'm still trying here.
I know you guys don't care about the immigrants, but do you care about dogs? Like, maybe dogs will strike a chord in some of you. All the people in my comments who think they understand the law but refuse to use Google or any other search engine. Let me tell you that this was at a home of an American citizen. This person came to the door, told the ICE officer, hold on, I'm going to go put my dog in the bathroom. He tends to be aggressive. Chop should have been away from strangers because apparently Chop has some anger issues. Well, the boy did that, then went to go get his ID to show the ICE officer who he was, an American citizen. During that time, the ICE officer raided the home without permission, walked into the home, opened the bathroom door, and shot the dog. The family dog. They found no undocumented immigrants. They found nothing to warrant a reason to go into their home, and especially not to kill their family dog. And as the dog is laying bleeding out in the kitchen floor, they walk away. This is the rights we are talking about. This is the laws they are breaking. You cannot just go into an American citizen's home and shoot their dog because you think they might have an undocumented immigrant. That is insane. You are losing your rights.
Had you seen that video or heard that story?
That is new to me.
Yeah, so I checked in on it, or I looked it up. It is true that the KFOX out of El Paso did report that this incident did occur. As of now, this it was a month ago. It was in September that this actually occurred. So this is the first time I've actually seen it. But absolutely is true that Border Patrol agents associated with ICE, but Border Patrol agents went to this family's home to investigate if there were any illegal, undocumented immigrants, whatever, that they were hiding. And exactly the way she described it, according to the article, the individual walked out to his truck to get his identification, and while he went out to the truck, the agent stayed in the house. One of them went to the bathroom and shot the dog and killed it. As of September 9th, the U.S. Border Patrol agent was involved in a use of force incident in El Paso, Texas, during an investigation into alien smuggling at a residence. The incidents involved a canine. The use of force is currently under review by CBP Office of Professional Responsibility. In accordance with the CBP policy, CBP takes such incidents seriously. And as of today, there is still no update on that they have not indicated what their investigation has brought to light. So we have reports of our enforcement, immigration, and customs enforcement are now, I guess, have the right to walk into your home without a warrant, without any sort of due process, and could potentially kill your dog, right?
Well, I think as a reward for managing such a wonderful militant arm of the United States government, the head of all this, Ice Barbie Christy Nome, should get rewarded with 2 luxury jet planes. What do you think?
I think that's what she's due, right?
I think she's completely earned it. Slamming citizens to the concrete, raiding homes where half the people are legally in the United States and detaining all of them, shooting dogs. Why not?
Yeah.
I think they're doing a great job. Let's get her a 3rd plane while we're at it.
Yeah. So what are you watching on TV this week? Hopefully
this show has been brought to you by the letters F and U.
No, it's extremely disturbing that there was an incident.
You better have a really funny video to close out this episode, because that just brought up, that was a major bummer.
I have. Yeah, no,
that has made me angry. I am seeing more and more of this too. Yeah. I truly wonder, when you and I saw Randy, the singing lizard guy, get hauled away and manhandled by ICE, at some point the crowds are not going to remain docile.
No.
The crowds will jump in at some point in this process, and the blood will be on the hands of Trump, Stephen Miller, and Kristi Noem.
The protests around the country were as I figured.
That's what I want to talk about. You need to open up with the No Kings protest. I want to hear all about it.
It was fantastic. I'd like to
7 million marching in Colombia, right?
Well, they are reporting 17,000 reported. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and nothing against Sam or the 5051 organization for South Carolina. You know, Sam is, if you see him, he's the guy with the extremely full, long beard, redhead. He, I don't know how they determine these numbers, because while, and completely honest, it was a huge crowd. I mean, people were standing shoulder to shoulder on the grounds of the State House. I
saw the video of the march. Wasn't there a march down the street?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the video.
Yeah.
That was an impressive sight.
That
was a mass of people.
And again, that was probably, and I had to ask ChatGPT how they come up with these estimates for crowd sizes and things like that.
Oh, is this the same ChatGPT that thought Biden is currently president? Okay. Good source of info, Barrett.
I figured if it wasn't something relative to the date or how far back it had to get its knowledge.
No, anything that involves actual facts or numbers, you know.
Yeah.
Let's go right to ChatGPT.
Hey,
what did it tell you?
I'm using ChatGPT right now at work to help me learn Snowflake. So, you know, this is
as a liberal, you do need to know Snowflake. So go ahead.
That's right. I need to make sure that I keep ChatGPT happy. You hear that? I'm trying to make you happy. So I asked it how people genuinely come up with these crowd sizes and things like that. And what it came back with was what they'll do is they'll take a block of people, and then they'll basically assess how many of those blocks there are in the crowd. And while in Columbia, it was a very large crowd, again, shoulder to shoulder from Assembly Street all the way down to Sumter. Like, it was a very large crowd. When we marched from the State House to the governor's mansion, again, it looked very impressive as it was walking up Main Street and then down towards the governor's house. Like, it was a very large crowd. And I would say it was probably about a quarter of a mile long, because your boy was running from the front of the crowd, standing as the crowd would pass, and then I'd run all the way to the front of the crowd to get the shot of the crowd passing at different sections and whatnot. I put that video out on YouTube. I'd like to say I'm proud of it, but I don't have any ego on that. But 17,000 feels like a really large number to me, and I'm not saying they're wrong, but I can definitely say that I don't think that crowd would have fit in Segra Park comfortably. Like, in Segra Park holds like 6,000. So I figured there was probably anywhere between 6,000 and maybe 8,000. But 17,000 blows my mind. And I don't know how they draw that number. Is it based on reservations from people that said that they were going to show up? Because,
well, I think they were able to get an accurate number because they have the receipts.
They should, yeah.
Right. Ultimately. So how much were you paid by Soros? What was your cut to show up to this thing?
You know,
we're just between you and I. You can let me know.
All right. I'm going to flash you a number, and it was
oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. No, that big, huh? Double digits.
The number of comments on the videos that I have posted from it so far are so infuriating when they make those statements, because first of all, I don't know how much George Soros is worth, but I got to be honest, I don't think it's enough to pay 7 million people across the country. Like, it just doesn't seem fathomable. If you were to pay me to go to an event, so if I was financially required, if I had signed some agreement, it's going to have to be more than $20 to stand out there. It was of the last 7 days, Saturday was the warmest. It was not a super comfortable day. You know, do it today. It was only 72 today. Tomorrow, it's only going to be 68.
Do it this Saturday, like we're doing it in Greenwood.
Yeah. So tell us, do you have any details on what time, where the Greenwood is taking place?
Oh, I mean, if you know Greenwood, it's across the street from In on the Square on Main Street. It's an intersection of Main and Court Avenue.
Okay.
Same place that the protest has occurred every month, just about. But the organizers from Greenwood wanted to be in Columbia, so they were there with y'all. And they said, well, we'll punt. Besides, Greenwood had something called a STEAM festival, the science, technology, engineering, math, and thousands of little kids, and their parents all came right to Uptown Greenwood. And so it really wasn't a good venue and time and place to hold our traditional Kings rallies. Those can get a little wild. So they punted to the upcoming Saturday. And so that's where I think I'll be.
I think, well, very good. I had several friends that were not able to attend here in Columbia, and I mentioned to them that there would be one in Greenwood this weekend.
Yeah.
So if do you know what time that's starting?
Yeah. 12 to 2.
12 to 2. Okay. Well,
I've got my poster design thought out. I think I'm going to get one professionally printed at the local Office Depot. So I'm going to do it up on Canva and then have it printed on hardboard. It'll cost a couple of bucks, but better than people making hand-drawn signs on cardboard boxes that nobody can read from the road anyway.
Sure.
I want this message to be seen.
I use large block lettering and I sketch it out before I then write over it with a Sharpie.
So did you have your own sign?
No, I didn't take a sign because I knew I was going to be running around taking pictures and whatnot. I did meet Annie Andrews, and I told her, I said, Bill Kimler? She goes, oh yeah, I have an interview coming up with him.
What did she really say? Now I want to know that this.
No, I asked her, I said, do you know Bill Kimler? And she said, yeah. She said, do you work with Bill Kimler? I said, no, we collaborate.
No, this is where you deny me 3 times.
I would.
Oh no, I don't know him.
I would never. There was no bell toll, nothing. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, we're scheduled to interview her Sunday afternoon.
Very exciting.
So that'll we get a half hour with her, and gosh, I don't know. She's being interviewed 1 billion times. So what do you do to not just be the same old interview you get over and over?
Obviously, you break out Clue and you just play Clue with Annie Andrews.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I mean, do we do it topless? Do we show up as if we're not wearing any clothes? That would be interesting. I need a weird angle. I mean, again, we want to talk to her seriously about her campaign.
Sure.
But I don't want to be asking the same dumb questions that she gets all the time.
Dude, Cards Against Humanity, right? I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying they're good ideas. I'm just saying they're ideas. But
Cards Against Humanity against Trump.
Yeah.
You can make
Cards Against Trump. Yeah. You could write out some of those. I don't know. I think that's great though. I did give her my cards to try and convince her to come on with me, but I don't think she was. I don't think she was in for it. The mustache seems to be setting people off lately.
So. What you need to do is you need to trash talk her first, then you get the interview. Yeah, that's the technique I found.
Yeah, We released our episode today, and I got the impression from a few people, they were like, you didn't go very hard on him. Like, it's because I didn't feel like he was a huge MAGA Trump supporter. I think that his book was interesting. He just made a lot of comparisons between the way the media treated Aaron Burr, or the newspapers treated Aaron Burr, which, let's be honest, newspapers back then weren't newspapers. It was somebody would print out they would print multiple pamphlets, and then it would get passed around from person to person, usually at the pub or, where people collected their, groceries or something. But it's not like it was like newspapers.
You can measure the skill of the guest, or the how good of a guest you have, by the percent of time you talk versus the guest, and the percent of time Zach talks. So I did the measurements.
Did you?
You talked for about 90% of the interview.
Yeah.
Your guest talked for about 9.9% of the interview, and Zach was hardly there.
Yeah.
Like Zach couldn't be bothered to say anything. So that, to me, it tells me kind of where this interview went. And I was going to say, this is an example of why you don't read those Gmail, requests of guests trying to invite themselves on your show. But then again, you have the counterfactual with your previous California assemblyman.
Yeah.
And I think you got that as a fishing expedition, and he was phenomenal. Yeah. He did most of the talking in that episode. Yeah. That was a great interview with this guy. he has he's not a dynamic interview, and you did the best with what you could work with.
Well, I will say Mike Gatto is phenomenal, and
Yeah,
because he is on the West Coast, hopefully, if he can get one of his Mondays or Wednesdays clear for like 6:30 or so, then he said he'd be happy to join us. But
you can't have him back soon enough.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I mean, you could practically make him a co-host. I mean, I would bow out in favor of him. He was great.
He makes honestly, if you turn on OAN, I almost his is Newsmax. If you turn on Newsmax, almost any evening of the week when something has happened, he's almost always on at least for a 10 or 15 minute segment. Like, and he's good. He's the.
Well, you lost me at if I turn on Newsmax, because that's not going to happen.
I know.
What kind of hypothetical weird world are you living in?
I know. Did you see that they have started tearing down the I guess the east wing of the White House to start building this $250 million ballroom? The number on the price tag of this ballroom continues to go up. Like,
he says he's getting like the funding from sponsors, so it's not even coming out of public funds.
Right.
Supposedly,
right.
It's being sponsored by Amazon, sponsored by Meta, things like that. But really, what is it going to look like at the end? You know, it's going to look like a scene right out of the film Caligula. Where he's marching around and all this debauchery is occurring. It's going to look gaudy. It's going to look horrible.
It's going to be larger than the White House. Like it's going to be larger than what is the actual White House, which, I don't know.
It's the final days of Rome. It's when the government decides to live to excess while the rest of the nation is struggling and suffering. And then you bring the government military down to squash any dissent and rebellion. This is a playbook. My God, that's right out of every historical movie we've ever seen.
So off the top of your head, who's our Brutus?
Oh, geez. I can't even think of who it could be because there's no peer. All right, yeah. Who's your thought?
George Santos. He's out of jail. He says he's reformed.
But he won't get access. He won't be up there. Brutus. I don't think he'll have access. Trump doesn't want anything anywhere near him. You won't see Trump and Santos in a picture ever.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't think you're wrong. But that would be entertaining if it did turn out to be George Santos. If we were like, oh, he just got out of jail, now he's going back.
I know who Brutus is going to be. I know. I got the name. It's going to be Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay.
Because Rogan has started to turn.
Yeah.
He still commands a lot of popularity. Trump would easily be interviewed by him again for some reason, and I could see Rogan doing the deed.
Yeah, I could see that. I also wanted to mention, apparently the Supreme Court is hearing on considering whether or not people who regularly smoke marijuana should legally own guns. I think that this is one of those issues that is going to be it's going to cross the lines. It's going.
What are you hoping the outcome would be?
I know. Because if you're gonna put gun control and you're gonna assign it to something as specific as smoking marijuana or regularly smoking marijuana, alcohol is the first one that comes to mind. If you are someone and like the people that would consider this a good thing because they're huge Republican Trump supporters, like if they're going along with this idea, does that mean that every time you want to purchase a firearm legally, that you have to go through a drug test?
See, I know innocent people get caught up in it, but I almost want the Supreme Court to see it that way.
I just
for the FAFO factor, right? Yeah. I want the rural white working man, gun-toting, smoking on the weekends guy to feel the consequence of this administration and the Supreme Court justices he put in place.
And how does this not turn into creating some sort of a registry of people that now own guns but also potentially smoke marijuana? Like, it's everything that the right fears of what Democrats have been professing.
I think what'll happen. I think what'll happen is, let's say the Supreme Court does judge or rule in that certain way. The red states can just ignore the ruling. We've already found out that you don't have to follow the ruling because there's no enforcement of whatever it is they come up with anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So,
well,
is the Supreme Court relevant or no?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, it is relevant in the sense that they tend to give Trump a pass on virtually everything he seems to want to do. Like, I think the record right now is like, out of the 21 executive orders that have been pushed all the way to the Supreme Court, they have sided with him 19 times. So 2 times out of 21, they have recognized that it's an overreach of the executive power. But 19 times they're like, fuck yeah, let's go. Hold my beer. This one is, it's such an oddity, because I can't imagine people in the MAGAverse, first of all, not smoking pot. I can't imagine. Like, I look at some of the people that I know and I'm like, if you're not doing it, you should be, because like maybe it'd calm you down a little bit. I don't know. It's a weird idea. And I don't fully grasp why the Supreme Court is considering it. Apparently President Donald Trump, his administration, asked the judges to receive a case against a Texas man charged with a felony because he allegedly had a gun in his home and acknowledged being regularly a pot user. And it's like, how does this case make it to the Supreme Court? Like, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem like it needs to be on the radar. You were going to appeal that? You had a gun in your house. Were you supposed to have the gun? No. I mean, I take that back. I don't know anything about this individual except that he confirmed he was a regular pot user. But does that?
All I know is that the Second Amendment nuts in this area get all bent out of shape over red flag laws.
Right.
You've been accused of domestic violence, or police have evidence of domestic violence. You lose your rights to arms. They go nuts. Yeah. The NRA specifically puts on the candidate questionnaire, what is your opinion of red flag laws? And they're vehemently opposed to it. So they don't want gun restrictions on anybody for any reason. And yet their president is pushing for a restriction on pot smokers.
Yeah.
Where are the Second Amendment nuts going bonkers? Where are they?
It was just a couple months ago that Trump was talking about taking marijuana off the Schedule 1 narcotics list, which would basically make it legal and available for pharmaceutical companies to start producing marijuana to sell in drugstores. Like, that's the next step. And now they're pushing for a judgment from the Supreme Court on.
You would think the Supreme Court would have more important things to weigh in on.
Yeah. You know what though? I don't think this particular Supreme Court does. Like,
yeah, maybe you're right.
I don't think
maybe you're right.
I don't think they do. We were talking about the ballroom, east wing of the White House is being ripped down by a bulldozer or whatever. Last week Donald Trump came out, which I think it really came as a surprise, because I don't think he was going to talk about it, but a reporter asked him what the thing on his desk was, and to the arc to Trump. So we have a president now who in his lifetime is, he's not dead. We normally build these memorials for, presidents.
Well, let's be clear. Are you sure it's a memorial for him, or that's just what the press started calling this thing? I got the impression it was just a decorative piece that he wishes to add to the state, to the nation's capital. I don't think there was like the word Trump on this in any fashion. There was no imagery of Trump. He just wants something like the arc that's in where is it? It's in France somewhere. Arc de Triomphe, I think is what it's called, right?
Well, and in Germany, Hitler did want an arch built for him, right? But if you go to Italy, you see the remnants, or you see them everywhere, because
But I think what he did is that he went to Caesar's Palace in Vegas and took notes, and now wants to put all that shit into Washington D.C. Yeah, and he's done it in his the White House and the Oval Office. The Oval Office looks like there ought to be craps tables and a blackjack table from Caesar's Palace right there.
It is extremely gaudy to look at the Oval Office now.
Looks like a Jersey diner. I mean, a Jersey diner is more elegant.
And not just the Oval Office, the cabinet, where the cabinet meets.
Yeah.
Like, it looks the same. And I've seen people do comparisons of some of the things that he has on the wall, and what they are like 89-cent pieces from Home Depot that have just been painted gold.
Shit, you can get it from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Which, if Donald Trump was smart, he'd probably get them from Hobby Lobby, but I don't even think they sell that shit. But they're making those comparisons, like Donald Trump thinks that and I honestly question, does Donald Trump actually think that they're actual gold pieces on the wall when we have evidence of someone's Home Depot online cart of the exact same fixture, but 89 cents, just not painted gold?
What you need to do is create something like the Amber Room. Have you heard of the Amber Room?
No, please tell me.
I just learned about it this past week. It was something that the Germans gave to the Russians in the 1700s. It was an entire palatial room, floor, ceiling, walls, all handcrafted in amber of different types.
Yep.
And some estimates say it was worth, in today's dollars, $500 million.
Yeah,
is what they estimated it. But then when the Nazis went into the city in Russia, they dismantled the Amber Room, took it all back.
Yeah.
And to this day, it's considered lost.
Yeah, nobody knows
where it ended up. I just found that story fascinating.
That is an interesting one, and that kind of reminds me. So the Louvre in Paris is shut down right now because
that's right.
I guess somebody came in and stole some, I guess, jewelry.
Yeah,
and the way, however it was that it was done, like
all I know is I read they had little tiny chainsaws.
Yeah.
And then they got away on a scooter.
Yeah.
Like a little motorized scooter.
And
so low tech.
As of this recording, law enforcement in Paris has nothing to go on.
Did you ever hear the story of when the Mona Lisa was stolen?
I didn't.
And Pablo Picasso was named as a suspect and taken in by French authorities. I tell you, that is a true story. I was watching this TV series called Genius. Every season was about a different genius. The first season was about Einstein. Second season was about Pablo Picasso. And I'm watching this unfold. It's a 10-episode season, and there he is. The Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre. This is back in the early 1900s. And then Picasso and his associates were considered prime suspects and taken in and even jailed. It turned out that they were exonerated. But it's just nuts to think like that is such a bizarre trivia of history.
So that happened in the last 100 years?
Yeah.
Because
Picasso was 1900s.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things that surprises people. Like when they think of Picasso and they think of Picasso and other artists, and they kind of lump them all
just
together.
Do a little Google search when you want. Just talk about when the Mona Lisa was stolen. I mean, literally the world's most famous piece of art was stolen.
I will check that out. Speaking of women,
we were,
sort of, yeah. In the last few minutes, I had someone reach out to me and say that I was supposed to ask you about your secret life as a nun.
That is very interesting. I need to know who knows that.
I will just tell you that they're blood.
Oh, no kidding. So you talked to my daughter.
She
That's funny.
She messaged me. She was like, ask Bill about being a nun.
So, first of all, I grew up Catholic, went to Catholic school, elementary school was taught by nuns, the whole 9 yards. And then in the early days of Twitter, I had my normal Bill Kimler account, but back then Twitter was more about comedy. There was this comedy inner circle.
I agree.
And so I created another account called Sister Roberta. And I put up a picture of an old nun, and then I played the role of a nun who would say outrageous crap on Twitter. And so yeah, that was a persona. And I would just say the most sacrilegious. I mean, that account no longer exists. That was 100 years ago. But that was a fun exploratory time of comedy.
This doesn't taste like blood.
Oh, you should see some of the crap I wrote. I think I have it archived.
I was gonna say, if it's not still out there, I would definitely go subscribe.
No,
to it.
it's gone. It's long. I mean, this is over 15 years now.
That's crazy.
That happened. But yeah, that was funny. That's funny that you're talking to Amanda. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you having her on?
I suggested when we were still doing the morning show, I was like, it'd be fun just to have you pop in and you not know that she was there. But she said she was going to the New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear from her about the New York Comic Con because she goes to real
Comic Cons.
Yeah.
No offense.
I get. But I'd like to hear about it and maybe some of if she attended any of the panels or anything like that.
Oh, you should see who she's gotten pictures with.
I did. I saw Jessica Jones. What's her Jessica or Ritter? I can't remember her first. Ritter. Yeah, I saw that picture. I had, first of all, no idea how short Amanda was compared to Ritter.
Well, Amanda's tiny. She's a midge. She didn't get my height gene. She got her mom's.
But I had no idea that Ritter was that tall either. I guess she's a superhero, so I guess they have to make them tall. But yeah, I would be intrigued to hear how the New York Comic Con.
Yeah, you should see. She has a collection of celebrity photos that just are unrivaled. It's really impressive.
That's very cool. Yeah, I was going to tempt you with pulling up the Trump store just to see what sort of like holiday apparel was available. Apparently, if you order now, you get 10% off your whole order. This is not an ad. I'm not supporting that, but if you want, you could certainly go do that.
Just to know that the Trump store now has equal footing with SoulHAUS in the same episode. So the two now have got equal billing. Well done.
Preach. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't even think about that. As well to ZJZ Designs. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I don't have a whole lot more to talk about for tonight. But I will just say that the march and the rally this weekend was very impressive.
Well, I'm glad you went. I'm happy you were there.
The only negative thing for South Carolina that I saw reported was a woman in Myrtle Beach from Surfside who brandished and pointed a pistol at some of the protesters at the Myrtle Beach protest.
Oh, I heard that one of the protesters got arrested as well.
Oh, really? No, I had.
Yeah. She had dressed in a penis costume. Oh. She was escorted away for obscenity, but she was literally dressed as a dick.
Freedom of speech, right? I mean, that's an expression. You have to allow that. I'm not saying I want to see it. I'm just saying I think
well.
I don't know, but I that was the other thing I was going to say was the next hearing for the Senate Bill 323, which is basically the extremely
speaking of giant dicks,
giant huge dicks, and I have a list of all of them, their names as well. But the next hearing is November 18th at 2 p.m. at the Gressett Building, room 308. There will not be any public testimony. In this, I think what I read was that they are only going to hear from quote unquote experts.
Oh God.
Yeah. Which I assume means that those experts are people that they chose, that got their doctorates in health from the Church of Baptist Scientific Christians or Christian Scientists or whatever.
All I can say is if you listen to our most recent episode of Black, White, and Blue in the South, we played about 9 clips of public testimony.
The last one was fantastic. The last one was so good.
You heard some true experts speak.
Yeah.
Then you heard some absolute scary individuals speak.
Yeah.
I mean, men who truly wanted women subjugated, they came right out and said it.
Yep.
That a nation is cursed when women lead. I mean, think about that. And then up on our TikTok page, I have a video of Katrina Shealy throwing paper at one of the speakers. You have to watch that video on our TikTok channel. That was a wild thing I caught.
So when I was in line with people that were going in to try and testify
Yeah.
at the last hearing, and like the number, I don't know how many opportunity numbers they gave out as far as to allow people to speak, but I knew I was standing in line with people who had number like 52 all the way up to 280, and
Right.
watching, but I did watch the Katrina Shealy testimony, and the fact that they called time on her when she, as a former senator, I thought that there were certain graces that they got, but I guess Richard Cash
If it was a
had nothing.
Republican senator that got up to speak, they would have given him, an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But a former female sister senator, nah.
Yeah.
All right, man, we got to cut this.
Yeah,
I'm fading.
You're fading. I can tell. Is it the wine?
It is. I had a half a Dixie cup of wine. Now I'm knocked out.
Well, I will just say that I'm hoping that I get details on this this documentary that's coming out about the sister senators, because I think that'll be really good. So, Bill, thanks for being here.
Oh, hey, actually, before we go, road trip opportunity.
Oh,
Jamil and I are heading to Columbia on Tuesday of next week.
Okay.
For a very special late afternoon event at the State House grounds.
Okay.
Do you know what's happening at the State House at 5:30 next Tuesday, the 28th?
I don't. It's not even on my radar.
We will officially have a new candidate for governor of South Carolina.
Oh, I had not seen these details. So someone is making their official announcement. The exploratory committee has come up with and said this is
no. I did not create an exploratory committee. It's me. I'm announcing. No, I'm kidding. It's not me. It's Jermaine Johnson. Yes. Yeah, Jermaine Johnson's officially announcing.
That's very cool.
And he's announced that. So we're heading up there. And if you're free, come join us.
I will see if I can work that in. I have bowling that night, so you all are welcome to come over and have some beer and wings at your own purchase through whatever monetary means you prefer.
I'll see if Jamil's a bowler. We'll see if we can't squeeze that in. But we're there for Jermaine.
That'll be very cool. Yeah, I would like to try and stop by and see that. That'd be very cool. Awesome. Are you all still going to have Jermaine on the Dr. Johnson?
As far as I know.
Very cool. All right.
And then in 1 month, in fact, back-to-back episodes is how this will probably work out. We'll have a U.S. Senate candidate and the gubernatorial candidate from South Carolina.
That's
exciting. I know we're big shits now, man. I may be too big to even speak to you. We're talking to book authors of books nobody's going to read. We may have to rethink this.
I will never deny that you probably should spend your time doing something else than talking to me. Ever.
But you know what? Then again, we have not interviewed a presidential candidate, so we have to bow to you. You have pulled that off.
Just because their name appears on the ballot doesn't mean they're a presidential candidate. And I only say that in spite of totally recognizing that she and her campaign did not share anything about her being on the episode. So
what presidential candidate I hope to interview? You know that guy, Vermin Supreme. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's got a bearded fellow, always wears a boot on his head, and he's the best. I want to interview him someday.
I think that'd be a great interview. Well, on that bombshell, we'll wrap it up. Big thanks for everybody tuning in. Don't forget, you can follow me at Barrett Gruber and Bill at Political Bill SC. Of course, Bill hosts Black, White, and Blue in the South. Episodes out every other Wednesday. Tune in for that. All About Nothing podcast come out every Monday. So tune in for that. Until next time, you all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself.